Probably the most important conference in the world on artificial intelligence is happening right now in Austria. It's about killer robots or autonomous weapon systems, so basically machines that kill people. Over 140 states, experts in technology and artificial intelligence, civil society representatives are all meeting in Vienna to discuss establishing new rules about developing and using these weapons. This is about the next generation of warfare. Using artificial intelligence, these weapons select and attack targets without human control. So we've already been discussing these weapons at the UN for 10 years without any results. So it's good that this conference is happening, but it has one completely obvious and fatal flaw. They're basically ignoring what's going on in Gaza, where the exact weapons that we've been warning about are being used to commit genocide. Ignoring this is like having a conference against nuclear weapons in 1948 and ignoring the fact that the bombs have just been dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Reports made by Plus 972 and Local Call show that Israel is using artificial intelligence weapon systems to destroy Gaza. One Israeli agent described it as like a mass assassination factory. The report states that Israeli agents are taking only about 20 seconds to rubber stamp kill decisions. So why is this being ignored at the conference in Vienna? Surely if we're talking about establishing new rules against these weapons, we should look at how the weapons are being used right now in Gaza. Well, here's the problem. The conference is being hosted by Austria. This is a country that has consistently defended Israel at all costs. It was one of the few countries that voted twice at the UN General Assembly against a ceasefire, and their leaders have proudly stood by Israel as it commits genocide. So you've got a state controlling the narrative about these weapons that is best friends with the state that is using these weapons to commit genocide. But there's an even more serious problem. Representatives of civil society are also denying that the weapons being used by Israel are actually autonomous weapon systems. This is a problem because Palestine made a statement at the UN in March calling Israel out for using these weapons for genocide in Gaza.
Israel's use of artificial intelligence has been central to the execution of its mass killings in Gaza. The investigation was based on conversations with 7 current and former members of Israel's intelligence community, data and documentation from Gaza, and official statements by the Israeli army spokesperson and other Israeli state institutions.
Israel immediately tried to argue that the systems are not autonomous, so they don't need any regulations.
As a matter of fact, Israel is not using an AI system that autonomously chooses targets for attack without human involvement.
There is an issue about the definition. According to the definition used by Palestine, though, in the proposal they submitted in 2023, these Lavender and Gospel systems should be considered autonomous weapon systems because the human intervention made by the operator is a nominal human input, meaning it was basically mindless. The human didn't properly engage with the consequences of the decision to kill. But instead of agreeing with Palestine, civil society seems to be siding with the Israeli point of view, rejecting the idea that these are autonomous weapon systems and therefore significantly limiting the definition so that these weapons can actually still be developed and used by militaries around the world. So you've got all of the legal, ethical, security, humanitarian risks that these weapons are associated with, all happening right now in Gaza, but this is being ignored, and instead there's an attempt to deny that such weapons are being used by Israel. So unfortunately, this is a potentially really serious problem and undermines the effort to prohibit and regulate these weapons, and probably very dangerous for everyone because we know that Israel is selling these weapons around the world. So my advice for states and civil society attending the conference is stop ignoring what's going on in Gaza. Pay more attention to how artificial intelligence is being used to commit genocide and support the Palestinian proposal that would actually prohibit and regulate these weapons through new international law, which would benefit the whole of humanity.